After the deep dive into the future of education yesterday, it's a bright new morning at the Summit of Future 2025, and it's the day for track 2, which is technology, a much awaited track indeed. And at this Future Technology Summit, we'll together explore the transformative power of emerging technologies. We have experts and industry leaders joining us today to drive conversations with a specific focus on responsible development of artificial intelligence, of course, and the potential of quantum computing in revolutionizing industries. So students, delegates, guests, are we ready for the future? Are we ready for the future of technology? Sounds better. So let's go. The first session on this stage is a plenary session where we have an array of industry leaders and experts joining us on stage. They'll each be speaking to us about their ideas. And finally, if time permits, we'll, of course, open the floor for questions as well. The stage is almost set. So this one is about how Kerala is a leader and the world follows. We're getting started on track 2, on day 2, on a proud note, because technology that is inclusive, technology for all, is a theme that runs through Kerala's development story. And we have set the gold standard in leveraging technology for inclusive growth, digital literacy, and accessibility, which has become a model for everyone else to emulate. So without any further ado, let me call on stage our speakers, starting with Sri Unnikrishnan KC, Chief Executive Officer of Xalten Systems. Welcome, sir. Being joined by Sri Mathew Joseph, Chief Operating Officer of Fresh to Home. He'll be joining us in a moment. He's a trailblazing entrepreneur and business leader with over 27 years of experience. I'll talk about him a bit more when he joins us. Shri Susanth Kurunthil, CEO of Infopark, an accomplished IT professional, somebody who probably should not be introduced much in these premises. He's the man of the place. An IT professional and business leader with extensive expertise, as all of us know. Shri Debasish Das, Chief Information Security Officer of OTON from TATA Group, an alumnus of IIM Calcutta and BITS Pilani, with more than 19 years of global experience. Welcome, sir. And finally, completing the panel, Sri Jibu Elias, who's the country head of Mozilla Firefox. Welcome, Jibu. He's an AI ethicist, activist, and researcher who is widely recognized as a leading authority on India's AI ecosystem. Just checking in with the coordinator. Are we expecting Mr. Mathew Joseph to join? Should we get started? Yeah? Yes. I think I'll seek Unnikrishnan sir's help here to sort of set the context and make opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Fellow dreamers, makers, and future leaders. Just yesterday, we celebrated our 76th Republic Day. If we rewind a little bit, in those early days of independence, a very few would have thought a coastal state like our Kerala would one day aspire to be a aspire to achieve some leadership position in technology. Yet, we stand here today contemplating on the path or the approach that we should take towards technology to achieve progress for everyone. So we all know things are changing very rapidly. Almost everything, rapid development in AI, digital systems, everything is affecting our day-to-day life. Is that benefiting us all? Is somebody being left behind? Is the technology helping us all in an equal way? What should be the right approach that we should take? if you look around, there are many good examples. If we just go back into the history, there are many good examples which we can follow. There are a lot of learnings that we can gain. Success story of Singapore. In a generation's time, they have transformed from a fishing village into a technology hub. We'll just take the case of Israel with very limited resources. The challenges they have converted into opportunities. Or take the case of Korea, transformed from an agrarian economy into a technology hub, industrial powerhouse. These things didn't happen overnight. With the concerted efforts, concentrated action, and dedication, all these things they were able to achieve. There are lessons to be learned from that one. But at the same time, we also have to set the context in our perspective, what are our strengths and what we really need to achieve. Let's look at our strengths. Just take the case of Kerala. We have huge number of technology professionals and leading technical institutes spanning across the state. We also have a thriving startup ecosystem. And more than that, we have our IT industry, which is also growing. And above all, if you ask me, we also have a large diaspora network spanning all the technological hubs. And again, we also have a society which values inclusion as much as innovation. By leveraging on these things, there are many areas in which we can focus, develop on our strengths to capture future opportunities. There are eminent speakers here who will be able to throw more light into this one, but just to name a few, we could explore possibility of developing technologies that will address climate change, the challenges posed by climate change, the technologies that will enable us to mitigate the effects of climate change, coastal technologies. Just like the case of Netherlands, we can be a leader converting the challenges into opportunities. And we all know there's a medical field, we have achieved substantial progress. We can leverage on that one, combining our existing networks with our traditional wisdom and latest advancement in technology. We can carve out a niche space for us, providing quality healthcare and medical technologies. We can come up with a lot of innovation to enhance that thing. And high-end manufacturing, sustainable food development. These are to name a few. These are not just business opportunities. These are the challenges. If we solve those challenges, we can easily achieve technological leadership, not only generating revenue, but also being a technology leader in that one and grabbing the future opportunities, we can ensure our future is safe. There are many more areas like this, and today's session, others also will be able to contribute a lot towards this thing. Let's have a discussion on this thing, come up with a proper strategy or a path which we should take so that the technology benefits everyone. Thank you.
As Unnikrishnan sir was speaking and I was going through his profile, I just wanted to mention to you that yesterday, since our track was education, there was a lot of conversation around how education and experience are two parallel lines, especially in the context of students. But I just want to throw some light on his profile. He is a PhD from the National University of Singapore. He was also the R&D head of various organizations, and he also went on to found organizations. So none of these need be parallel tracks. It can all converge if you have the will and willingness for it. So great round of applause for Mr. K.C. Unnikrishnan, who did all of that and is inspiring us every day. And now, over to our second speaker. He's the CEO of Infopark, as we all know, but he has also founded and managed 3 IT companies himself, a man who has innovation written on his forehead. It's my pride to present to you Shri Susanth Kurunthil. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. So dear fellow panelists and then friends. So we are talking about technology for all. And I think technology should be for all. Because any technology that's not for all, any technology that is that's restricted will definitely meet its end pretty soon. So when we look at how technology evolved over the period of time, see, all the way from when fire was invented, or I don't know whether it was discovered, it was for the common man. And then, say, electricity came in, and then that is widely used. And then, even in our generation, at least in my generation, I have seen so much of evolution of defining moments when it comes to technology adoption. So the first thing that I personally have seen is personal computers in the early 80s, when computers were this huge boxes in very big buildings. We had the IBM PC, coming to our hands at some point in time, and ever since there is no looking back. So it has kind of revolutionized the way we live. So later came in the internet, and then so I remember the days where internet was very early, and we used to have these dial-up modems, and then getting onto the internet was a task by itself. So we have to dial up, and then getting the connection itself would take maybe 5 to 10 minutes. By the time it dials up, and then it will make all of these noises, and then finally you get to that, and then what do? You have something called email. And then at that time there was something called CC mail, which we all used to use just to communicate so between the colleagues, or rather professionally within the organization. So from then on, there were some chats, and then then came the World Wide Web. So that is when initially I used to remember we used to go to Yahoo and then do basic searches and stuff like that. And then those are revolutions. And then so there were glimpses of e-commerce at that time in the in the late 90s, and then that used to be called the internet bubble, and then the bubble burst because it was ahead of its time. So then in 2007 is when iPhone came into picture. So that's yet another defining moment. And then that is something which revolutionized the way we use technology. That is when technology literally went into people's hands. So obviously, in the recent past, we have seen ChatGPT. And then, so obviously, generative AI became the real thing. And then obviously, that's also in our hands. And, we use that thing. See, nowadays, I'm sure that all of you would be using ChatGPT to generate your essays probably without the teachers knowing them. Then, so we use that for most of our document generation and image generation and stuff like that. And then now we are in the age of agentic AI. So this is where things would really change. And then when we look at how technology has come to our hands, technology for everybody. I don't know, any one of you remember the days when we used to go to a bank, to take our own money, So we used to go there, and then, or say when you go to the so-called public banks at that time, it was a struggle. So going to the bank was a day's job. So you go there, and then, you get a token, and you fill the form, and then you get a token, and then you wait forever, and then you go to the cashier. The cashier thinks that he or she is giving their personal money to us, because this is money that belongs to us. And then that is when there are many things that you are looking at today. If I want to transact, I can just pay anybody on my phone, literally in a split second. How technology has come to our hands, literally, how that has changed the way we live. It's not just the way we work, but it's the way we live that changed. So these are the technologies that define how easily our existence is. So the thing is, again, another example is how do we book a travel? So earlier there used to be these businesses called travel agents, and then they used to do all the bookings. Flight booking was something which none of us can even imagine. It was a process by itself. And today you can do that very easily. But then, all of those conveniences are because technology has gotten into the hands of individuals. And then now, we are looking at things like agentic AI coming in. So, give you an example. Say now, obviously, flight booking is easy. You can go and then book a ticket. But I always struggle with this whole thing because I have to go to one of those sites, and then I have to check. Okay, I want to go, say, Friday evening to Bangalore. And I go book a ticket. I have options. At 5 o'clock, I have a ticket that costs me $8,000. And then at 10 o'clock, I have something that costs me maybe $4,000. The next day morning, I have something, which costs me around, $3,000. So then there is a lot of deliberation as to, okay, what do I do? Do I do this? Do I do that? So what is important for me? So there are many parameters using which I make a decision. I make a decision as to which flight to book. And then that is time consuming. And then once we enter the agentic AI era, then obviously all of these decisions will be made for us by an AI agent. So I don't really have to think, how to book it, because the agent knows that this is what this person has been doing. So for him, either the time is important, or the money is important, or the flight duration is important. All of those parameters are something which will be taken care of by us. So obviously, these are the ways in which technology is going to change. Similarly, if you want to buy a stock, which stock to buy? And then, so what is your target? What is your target price? What is the profit that you would want to make? And when do you want to sell it? And stuff like that. If AI systems can create these kind of decisions for you, then obviously, you will be in a much different world. So the key here is how these kind of technology comes to our hand, and then how technology get democratized. I'm not sure we will see agentic AI doing all of these things for you and me in the next few months, but definitely it is going to happen. It is going to happen at some point in time in the near future. May not be months, but obviously maybe by 26 or so, you and I will be doing, will be just relaxing somewhere where our work will be done by some agent, say, out there. So, but one of the key things about getting technology to individuals, so technology to people, is the digital awareness. And then that is where Kerala leads. So if you look at what Kerala has achieved over the last multiple decades. So we have invested very heavily in literacy long back. Literacy and then social development and stuff like that. Ever since the state came into existence, and we are reaping the rewards of that, because wherever that you go, any little village that you go within Kerala, you will see people who are very, very aware of what is happening. So I would get questions about AI when I go to my village in North Kerala. So people are aware, and then that awareness is created by the literacy programs that we ran. And then obviously, so we had plenty of inaugurations of new companies in Infopark in the past couple of months. And every time, there's an inauguration, one thing that all the senior management will come and then talk to me is that you have some very good talent out here. And then that talent, the creation of that talent is primarily because of the investments that Kerala as a state has done. So we do have that awareness, we do have that digital literacy much higher level as compared to any other state in India. So Kerala leads in our digital awareness, Kerala leads in making sure that the technology is in the hands of people. Say, look at an example of our Akshaya centers. Whatever that you need to do, from the government, you go to an Akshaya center and not to a government office. So these are all the things that the state has done, and I'm sure that this is going to continue. And then we will empower our citizens to take things literally in their hands and make sure that, so they get the right service, and then they get the right service using the right technology outside. So that's all what I want to talk about. So thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Sri Susanth, for crystallizing the historical evolution of technology and how it's also going to impact us in the future. Our next speaker is a person who has managed multi-million-dollar business units and has led multiple digital transformation programs for many Fortune 100 clients. So he has a wealth of experience to dive into, and we can't wait to listen to you, Sri Debasish Das.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I hope it's a fantastic time of the morning to have this conversation. It would have been very difficult. It had been post-lunch. So, friends and dear colleagues, wonderful. I think you have already set the stage on fire, both Unni sir and Susanth sir. So, let me see if I can add a little bit to that. I think what Unni especially pointed out is with technology for all, quite a bit of focus on things which he very categorically called out is sustainability, right? And how do we focus on a lot of our initiatives around sustainability? And what Susanth very rightly said, and how Kerala has led a lot of these through sustainable initiatives over the past maybe decades, which is showing a lot of fruits at this point in time. And he took us to the journey of how technology has evolved. And I'll just take a leaf out of that book and just try to take a snippet of how technology for all is quite important, but at the same time, just club it with the side effects of technology when it is not implemented the right way. See, every technology which has been invented has always been with a noble intention to uplift humankind, to bring in convenience, to uplift the masses to consume something which is probably was not possible, and give the real power to the people. And that's always with the intention with whatever technology has started, right from the days of inventing fire to the space technologies that we are investing in, to agentic AI, to generative AI and all that. Now, I happen to in a particular period of the last decade, been focusing on how to make technology safe and secure. So technology for all is a fantastic concept, but without the security piece of it, without the awareness piece of it, it's a little challenging to take it to all. So let me take an example. Coincidentally, I was in one of the conferences in 2019 here in Kochi, an IEEE conference, and 4 o'clock in the morning, and because of the job I do, I happen to travel quite a bit, and I had traveled to Taiwan just a few months ago, and I remember it was great. I recalled in our earlier days when we used to travel, used to have traveler's checks, right? To transact in a different currency, obviously you would not have these days it's very easy because you have your cards. well accepted across everywhere globally. But those days you used to have, 2 decades back when you used to travel, you used to carry traveler's checks, which would be accepted in some of these retail outlets, and then you would be very specifically transacting, and that's how used to be the mode of transaction overseas. Well, I traveled to Taiwan, obviously, not the days of traveler's check, and you would have a travel card, you would just swipe in anywhere, and it's quite convenient, right? Now, I'm just telling the story because what's the side effect of advancements in technologies, and I have personally experienced it. So I was in Kochi, and early in the morning I get a call at around 4 o'clock from one of my banks. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I typically am a family person. My mom was back home, and I had traveled here for a conference. I thought someone is calling from home, maybe it's a medical emergency or something. So I pick up the phone, and then I see that my bank is calling me and said, "Sir, where are you now?" I was wondering why someone is asking 4 o'clock in the morning, where am I? I said, yeah, I'm traveling outside. Are you in India? I said, yes, I'm in India. So he immediately tells me, sir, I am taking some actions on your card. Looks like something is going on. I said, then I just tried to confirm the veracity of the call, and it looked perfectly all right, a legit call from my banker, and they immediately blocked my credit card. To my surprise, and this conversation was going on, and said, sir, can you just go back to your message and see, some messages would have come of your transaction. And by the time, few lakhs of INR lakhs had been transacted in some airline in some part of the world without me knowing. And then good that it got blocked, and then it took me some time to again make it normal, and they had to reissue a card and all that. Now what had happened is this kind of frauds are growing, and the reason behind is because we have used technology and was designed for a convenience. When technology was designed, most of these credit cards, international credit cards, would not ask you for a CVV when you're doing a transaction overseas. They really don't need it because it's so frequently used as probably a primary mode of finance overseas. And because of that, when you swipe your card in some of these overseas locations especially, there are a lot of financial fraud happening with skimming scams. So there are, while you scan or swipe your card, and these have become very common these days, but it was quite an eye-opener for me. And then, so what we need to do is ensure that how we can use technology to prevent some of these frauds. Now, what happened to me was essentially a financial loss, which I did not take, but the bank had to waive off that fraud because it's more expensive to recover that money than to waive it off, right? And you can imagine of hundreds of thousands of such frauds happening every day. What we need from all of us today is to ensure while we think about technology and building technology solution, just don't think about a feature or a convenience. Please consider security by design. You have to ensure that while you are bringing in some technology, you consider the fact of security so that it doesn't create havoc and it's really is solving the purpose for which it is built. And hence, what has happened is historically the investments in safe or securely building applications or securing by design has been less. Hence, there is a significant demand for professionals who can build technologies safely and securely. And I think in that context I have seen, I was going through some statistics, is that, because of the high level of awareness that is available in Kerala, probably Kerala tops the charts in Indian states in terms of awareness in cyber as well. So that is one area I think there is tremendous opportunity for all of us as students, as faculty members, as industry experts to kind of enforce more and more awareness so that we keep on building technology which is not only applicable or available, accessible to all, but keeps them safe. Imagine your technology that you're building today will be used by a lot of senior citizens and all of them would be probably using those technologies in form of mobile applications. With the click of a button, they can do a lot of transactions. But if the same mobile device for some reason is compromised, then it's highly possible that all their life savings can go in one click itself. So I think it's fantastic to see that Kerala has contributed quite a bit to the awareness, not just in the digital, but specifically in the cyber area. And I am proud because I belong to an organization which has invested heavily in building leadership skills out of Kerala. All our leadership programs, the flagship leadership programs runs out of Kerala. And I have consumed some of the services. I'm glad that I have been enriched with the knowledge, with the expertise. So I look forward to much more, in terms of what Kerala brings on to not just the nation, but to the world. And all of us would play a significant role with that. Thank you so much. I think look forward to more conversations from my fellow panelists. Thank you. Yeah.
Sound word of caution from the Chief Information Security Officer of OTON. Thank you, Mr. Das, also for sharing that story with the Kochi Connect. Now, there is one person on this stage who is not directly from the technology industry, but he's somebody who has hit the bullseye with leveraging technology to enhance his business venture. He runs one of the world's largest seafood companies with a $650 billion, I stand corrected, billion turnover. And his brand won the Economic Times Awards for the best brands in the world. A true trailblazer and business leader with more than 3 decades of experience. Presenting to you, Shri Mathew Joseph.
Respected dais and all, morning. All are boring, no? No, this is a technology. See, today, first I would like to congratulate the Jain team because you are taking a very good step, especially for the Kerala, especially for the youth of Kerala is like to start their own startups or their own business. So for this era, this type of conclave is creating so many good initiatives to their mind, and they will lead something for our Kerala in the next future. So once again, I congratulate Jain team. The Kerala leads the world. You have any doubt? I have no doubt. I can explain 1 or 2 companies. One is Infosys, Chris Gopalakrishnan, and Mr. Shibulal. I am very lucky, Shibulal is my neighbor. They are driving in the world. And one more company I can tell you, but if I am telling the name of that company, Zaman Mill, think about the status of that one. You don't think about the status because the business every time will be up and down. That company is Byju's. He is also from Mallu. He is also from Kerala. He is creating some path, not to the Indian companies. So many companies in the world is coming back to Byju's in the same field. In that big shots in Kerala, the same time, 2012, one ordinary man create another company, very small company, but he is not creating any rocket business. He is not doing any computer business, nor doing any mobile business. He is creating a fish market. India's first online fish market. That ordinary man now standing with you and speaking with you. This I am telling, when I was started India's first online fish market in 2012, the main challenge for me, I want to explain the things to the customers. You can get the fish from the computer. You cannot imagine, because now you are living in 2025. in 2012, I struggled to convey the people you can get the fish from the computer. But I think in that area, I started the company. That's why now you heard about, someone is heard about fresh2home.com. That is India's and UAE's #1 online fresh market. This I am telling, even the fish business also, if you are depending the technology, you can create history in the world, no doubt. But now you are thinking why this man is telling this. The India's biggest companies is Google, Microsoft, Facebook. But I am very proudly announce to you, this Google, Facebook, Microsoft, these all companies invested this fishmonger company in Kerala. Google, Microsoft, Facebook, all are invested in Fresh2Home, no doubt. I'm telling, no, this Fresh2Home is that like this like, but who I am? I know I am a fishmonger. My English also is not up to your expectation, I know, because I am not from the corporate, I am from the market. But you don't underestimate this fishmonger. You know my brand ambassador? My brand ambassador, Ranveer Singh. So a fishmonger can make a Ranveer Singh as a brand ambassador. You have a big chance in Kerala. You have a big chance in our Indian market. You are a big educated people. You are thinking so many big things. But as a local man, as an ordinary man, I am thinking only for the fish because I am living in the shore of Kaidapura Lake. So I have only that business. I have only the passion for that fish. That's why I am doing this. So if you have anything, you have any passion, first you want to identify your passion for your life. You identify your passion. What is my passion? For your passion for dancing, for your passion for drawing, passion for kabaddi, football, everything, anything, you have the big chance in Kerala and India. You can drive the seat in the world. Because that much of influence for the technology in our life. 2012, I am teaching my customer, you can get fish this lake. But now, the same customer is teaching me. You are up. You want to change the page number 2 and convert to page 3, you add this more. Otherwise, it is not a customer-friendly app. So that is a change of the world. That's a change of the mind of the customers. When you can understand, when you can adopt the change of the customers in your dream, and you add maximum technology in your dream, you can make history from here because Kerala is a God's own country. So you have a big chance. And thanks one more to Jane, and sorry for the delay to arrive here. Everything wish you a very best and very good future. Kerala will drive because no doubt you can take the whole, any big company, this Google, Microsoft, Facebook. You take a most top 10 or 20 peoples, I think sure, minimum 2 people from this God's own country. So you have a chance. That type of ability, that type of things in Mallu's mind, and you can do something. And this convention, this conclave is giving so many initiative to you. You can take wing. You can stand here after 10 or 15 years. You can make histories in Kerala and in India. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mathew Joseph. It's an inspirational success story. He put the focus back on Kerala, keeping with the theme of this plenary session. But I think we should put the focus back on him and give him a loud round of applause. I would totally call him a tech wizard who used the potential and possibilities of technologies in the right manner to make his organization swell into success. So congratulations on that once again, and keep doing great work. And we have the final plenary speaker coming on to the podium, putting the focus now back on inclusive, accessible technology. He is the country head of Mozilla Firefox, as I mentioned earlier, but as the Responsible Computing Challenge lead for India at Mozilla Foundation, he has played a pivotal role in advancing a unified AI framework in India. Now, this is a topic that we all really want to listen to. Presenting to you, Mr. Jibu Elias.
Hi. Thank you, Jain University team, for giving me this opportunity and inviting to have this talk. I have a special connection with the MC here because she's the person who put me on a stage for the first time to give a speech in our school days. So my special hi to you. Just want to clarify something. I don't work for Mozilla Firefox. I've been working for Mozilla Foundation for the last 1 year. Before that, I was working for something called India AI, which is the national AI mission of Government of India, where my job was to keep tracking on AI development in India and to build a unified AI ecosystem, as the MC mentioned before. So before getting into the merits of whether we are leading or not leading, let me tell something interesting about Kerala. Kerala is like the ultimate example of a state in paradox. We know that we are lagging behind when it comes to the traditional industrial development, but we are super high when it comes to social development. Similarly, as Mathew sir mentioned, we have created brilliant talents, many of them, like the Infosys founders and many more. Yet, when it comes to employment opportunities, we lag behind. But one of the most interesting of these paradoxes is that in the 80s, late part of 80s, in Kerala, we saw strikes against computers because we thought they will steal our jobs. Yet, in 1991, Kerala was the first state in India to have a, the Technopark, which is the first tech ecosystem in India, which was a visionary move. So, and one more thing, in a country where we are stuck while keep on dragging into our past, looking at our sacred text and other things, it's great to have a summit that looks into future. So kudos for that as well. Now, we have started Technopark in 1991. You know, it was a monumental landmark in the history of our country. Yet, over the last few decades, we have lagged behind big cities like the Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Gurgaon, which has taken leadership in numbers such as gross domestic outputs and maybe the number of professionals working there. But I think we have a lot to catch up in a traditional way of looking at things, in a traditional way of looking at the numbers. But I think we should take a different approach. Since we are here talking about future, let me put some thoughts out there on how we can be a leader, not just in India, but across the globe. But so rather we are not looking at how the big cities are doing. We should rather think about a vision by keeping technologies like AI in the focus. Rather than following a traditional IT model, which is right now under threat because of automation and AI, we should think about a model that is resistant to automation and leverage these technologies. I had the amazing opportunity to interview a gentleman called Jensen Huang. Have you heard about Jensen Huang? If you haven't, he's the founder of NVIDIA, and I had the opportunity to interview him twice in my life. And in both times, he said that computer coders are becoming obsolete. The whole idea is that now anyone can become a code thanks to generative AI and large language models. So, how do you address these challenges? How do you build an ecosystem around these kind of technologies? Now, here is an approach. Why don't we play to the strength of our state, which are in education, healthcare, tourism, and in many other areas? Like, imagine in healthcare, how can we leverage technologies like predictive modeling to predictive diseases or predictive outbreaks or just simple good old computer vision tools in detecting conditions as a diagnostics tool. There are a lot of tools out there, technologies out there, which can diagnose something like cancer using thermal imaging to using the good old image recognition to identify something like cataract. So why can't we do that? Imagine in a world where language models will be keeping your electronic health record, which will just give the latest summary to the doctor just before you walk in. This is where we see an opportunity for Kerala. Now coming to tourism, as the speaker before spoke, we are entering the age of agents, agentic AI. Now imagine you have agents, AI agents in our tourism website, which will do the whole process from information to booking, or using these AI tools in predicting natural disasters and mitigating them. So coming back to education, we have created a landmark many years ago. I remember Kerala developed its own Linux operating system for schools. I don't know if any of you know that. I think 20, 30 years ago. Similarly, the IT at School program of Kerala is a milestone for the whole country. Now imagine in education, what kind of approach we can take going forward. Firstly, gone are the days where we should prioritize the traditional computer science degrees, right? The computer science, the BCAs or BSc computer science, whatever it is. As you see, a lot of level, and I'm sorry to be at the doomsday prophet here, and that's what my work takes me to. As we have seen, a lot of entry level, middle level, repetitive computer science coding jobs are going to be obsolete in the coming years with the language models taking over. Now, how do you build an ecosystem around when there is a rapid technological change? And how do you build that can adopt to the latest and greatest of AI? Interestingly, we still live in a time when our undergraduate students are getting paid very less. If you remember, the entry-level payment in many companies are same as what it is in 2016. Why is that? Because there is a more number of students and less number of opportunities. NASCOM, an organization I was previously working with, came up with a number saying that more than 50% of India's IT graduates are unemployable. So let's think about how we can address this for Kerala, right? Let's think about what we can do. And that's what my work is all about with the Mozilla's Responsible Computing Challenge. So we believe that students have the potential to change the world, the potential to change the country, build ecosystem, and drive the economy. So we, in partnership with many universities in India, like Ashoka University, IIT Guwahati, IIT Delhi, some of the universities in Kerala, we are supporting them, helping them to develop curriculum that will not just create regular good old computer science engineers, but rather people who are capable of making changes to the society, adding value to the economy, and entrepreneurs by themselves. One good example is our work with the Marian College Kuttikanam, where we are looking into a curriculum that will enable students to build tools for people with disability. So we realized that some of the websites we have in the university and the college are not accessibility friendly. And when they look to buy these tools to make the websites accessibility friendly, they realize it is super expensive. We can't afford it. So a student came forward. He developed a tool which is now being used on these websites. Incredible, isn't it? We have the same thing happening in Ashoka, where they developed a whole civic in, a tool which will help people address local community level issues. IIT Guwahati is looking into the environmental, ecological landscape in Northeast India using technologies like AI. So this is where the future lies. The future lies in people with deep expertise in other area. When you add that with AI, you will find your professions. And I think Mathew sir is a good example here. His expertise in the fish market added with technology led to his huge success. So yeah, coming to so we are trying to start a center in Kerala, and if you guys are interested, any of you are interested, we will be happy to do that as well. So coming to leadership, it's not just about innovation, it's about values. And in Kerala, we value sustainability, equity, inclusion, ensuring that the technological progress are both human and responsible. So this is, let this not just be a start of a vision for the state, but rather a blueprint for the world. So let Kerala not just be the land of first, but the land of foresights. So let us lead and let us ensure that the technology serves humanity and not the other way around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jibu, for the brilliant work that you've been doing in bridging the digital divide, and also that crux of the point that he mentioned here, couple expertise with AI, and then you have a superpower. And now I'd like to hand it over back to Mr. K.C. Unnikrishnan for his closing remarks before we take the questions from the floor. Back to you, sir.
Thank you. We had a very wonderful session today covering almost all the aspects, positive sides, negative sides, challenges, opportunities. So right in front of us, everything is crystal clear. So there's a lot of opportunity out there growing, as mentioned, rightly mentioned, with right expertise, linked with latest technologies. There's a lot of opportunity to grab. But again, there are again challenges. How will you address the security associated with that thing? Whenever we are launching something into a wide scale, how will you address the security associated with that one? How will you ensure that everybody benefits out of it? No one is left behind. Maybe AI could be of help there, converting all the knowledge information available there, removing the language barriers, getting the information accessible to everyone. To achieve leadership position, again, it's not an easy task. We can claim we want to achieve, but it requires serious investments, efforts, coordinated action to achieve that goal. It's a challenge, but as rightly pointed out by the speakers, we have addressed these kind of challenges in the past also. Just take the case of literacy. When we intended to achieve 100% literacy for the mass, Kerala has shown an example there. With concentrated action, dedication, we'll be able to achieve that. Same is applicable here. So as today's theme suggested, Kerala leads. It is not about claiming superiority. It is not about saying that we are going to be ahead of everybody. It is always about accepting the responsibility that we need to take collective action to address the challenges, make it an opportunity to build a brighter future for everyone. And let's accept it as a responsibility and come out with solid plans. Let's not stop these discussions here. Let this discussion continue again and again. And educational institutions like Jain University has a big role to play in that one. And thanking you for conducting such a session. And if there are any questions, I think we got a few minutes. We'll be able to address that one. Thank you.
Can we have microphones ready to be passed around? And if you have any questions, please rise up from your seat and raise your hand. So many multifarious perspectives came to fore today. Definitely should get us thinking about the possibilities of technology for tomorrow. Yes?
My question is to Jibu, sir. Sir, do you think AI needs censorship?
Censorship or surveillance? AI needs censorship. You're asking if AI needs censorship?
Yes, sir. Like, for example, it can be used in both ways, right, sir?
Okay, so I think you are asking if AI should be regulated rather than censored.
Yes.
Because I think that's what we are trying to work on, right? I think I recently worked with Stuart Russell, who is like one of the forefathers of AI. We were working on something called red lines. Like, there are lines that AI should never cross. If you're a Christian, you know there are 10 commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. So what if we have a 10, 16 red lines for AI? So some of things we were working on with World Economic Forum was about AI should never break into a system. And AI should always identify which as a human, right? No, as an AI. And AI should always doesn't propagate misinformation. It shouldn't defame a human. It shouldn't help humans create weapons of mass destruction. So we are working on that. And I think OECD, which is the another organization like UN, which has created OECD principles for AI, right? How AI should be, right? And I think I was part of the committee that added the word human rights. AI should respect human rights into that principles recently. So we are working on it. The idea of responsible AI is like that, right? We shouldn't let AI do whatever it wants, but we should have frameworks, guidelines, and regulations to ensure that it doesn't go wrong.
So second question is like, you told that coders will get replaced by AI. But don't you think like bugs and error will be common if AI is doing the coding?
Actually, AI is doing a better job than humans, unfortunately, because the human error is a big aspect. What is happening is there will be people to check for bugs and errors, right? That still exists. What is going to happen is entry level jobs are under threat. And many of the entry level coding can be, even now many coders are using LLMs and other things. So the whole thing is AI is going to improve productivity. Let's say your work hour is reduced to half of your total now. Now, is private companies going to tell you that, hey, take the rest of the day off? No. They're going to reduce the, how do I say, the resources, right? Job resources. So that's how it is going to happen. But there will be people checking for bugs and other things. I think there will be AIs who can do that. Again, I want to say a quote by Jensen Huang again. He said that in future, HR departments will be just a person sitting and managing this AI agent.
So, say a third, like, could you give some advice for getting an entry-level job?
Get it as fast as possible before it's taken over.
Oh, it's a fountain of questions. Thank you. Who else?
Hi. We've talked about like how Kerala, we've talked about Kerala, but we haven't talked about Kerala government. I just want to know what are the challenges, and could you, I just want you guys to address how challenging it would be if we are to scale something AI related in Kerala.
Did you mention Kerala government?
Yeah.
Challenges with respect to?
Yeah. There are challenges respect to like if you are doing something here, and there's always government regulations, stuff like that poses a lot of problems. I just want you guys to address.
Just getting some clarity on the question. Are you talking about scaling businesses, for example, in the Kerala setting? Is that what you're asking about?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to address that, sir, since you're the business person on stage?
So you mean your question is inside that the politics? But not only in Kerala, if you are starting the business anywhere in the world, you want to face the challenges. But some political issues is there. So, but in my view, if you want to going to start a business, you must start the business in Kerala. Because William Somerset Maugham is telling, mind needs obstacles to develop its power. So if you start the business in Kerala, you want to face all challenges. So your mind will create the power to challenge anything. So that political things, also you think about a positive line. So we are also starting from Kerala. So many problems, so many challenges we are facing here. Not only here, I have 13 factories in India. Not only in Kerala, UP, Delhi, Karnataka, West Bengal, and Andhra, Orissa. So we are challenging so many. In Kerala is facing some other things, there is facing another things. So everywhere there is a challenge. That's a business. So if you need to start a business, you decide and fix your mind. I am ready to face anything from the politics side, or from the production side, or from the diversity of the things, or the raw material scarcity, something, anything. You want to face it. So that's why you don't think about Kerala is a not good place for industry or in business. This is also good. And one more thing I can assure you, if you start the business in Kerala, you did it 2 years or 3 years in Kerala, you can do the business everywhere in the world. No doubt.
Just to add that Kerala also achieved rank #1 in ease of doing business recently, and it's a national ranking, just an addendum. Any other question? Okay. So thank you, gentlemen, once again, and I'm now going to call on stage 2 very special people to present our tokens of appreciation to all of you. Dr. Chenraj Roychand, our Chancellor, and Dr. J. Lata, our Pro-Vice Chancellor. Welcome on stage, both of you, to present mementos to these 5 gentlemen who've been igniting thoughts in our mind, presenting perspectives from various angles with respect to future of technology. We'll start with Mr. K.C. Unnikrishnan, who opened the session for us. Sri Mathew Joseph, Chief Operating Officer of Fresh to Home. Mr. K.C. Unnikrishnan, CEO of Xalten Systems. Sri Susanth Kurunthil, Chief Executive Officer of Infopark. Sri Debasish Das, Chief Information Security Officer of OTON TATA Group. And Sri Jibu Elias from Mozilla Foundation. We request all of you to step up for a group photograph with our Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellor. What a brilliant start to our Future Technology Summit. And it's definitely the diversity of ideas that came out on stage today that marks its uniqueness. Thank you. Thank you once again.